This is One-on-One. This is One-on-One. Let me introduce you for the first time. I know it will not be the last to One-on-One. Jim Gerace, Vice President, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut at Verizon. Good to see you, Jim.
Yeah, great to be here.
Lot changed because of and after Hurricane Sandy. Biggest lessons for Verizon. Talk about it.
Yeah, well, that was kind of a rude welcome for me to New Jersey. I had just started in New Jersey a couple months before.
Yeah, welcome to town.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. And I still have a responsibility for New York, so I had the double whammy there. A bunch of lessons learned, although I have to say, you know, Verizon has interests all over the world, so not a year goes by that we're not faced with a Sandy-like event. So we did have a lot of experience responding. But what we did learn was that our older technologies did not fare as well as our newer technologies. So the fiber optic cables fared much better than the copper cables, and wireless fared much better than either of those two.
But you guys, explain to folks the Verizon network, if you will, for those, I would say for those who aren't familiar, as if lots of folks are sitting there saying, well, where is Verizon? Explain to folks where you are, and then where you got hit. Because I know, I was thinking about Seaside Heights, you know, the epicenter for a lot of folks. That's just one place where the poles you got hit.
Right.
Where are you guys?
Well, we don't have poles and wires everywhere, largely focused on the Northeast, from Virginia up to Maine is where the wires and the poles are. We like to talk about our three networks, that being one, the wireless network, which is coast to coast in the United States. And then we have a global, really internet network, IP network, that really lands in about 150 countries across the world.
Demand. We were having a conversation before we got on the air. You say that sometimes people come up to you and say, you know, I'm always connected. I'm always connected to someone, some technology, and it's your fault, Jim Gerace. It's your fault in Verizon. And you say?
They do. I say it's our fault, and then that customer in the same breath will ask for another application that measures all their exercise programs.
So therefore,
you know what I could really use on this cell phone?
So who's driving it?
Yeah. Well, it's really customers of all ages. You know, in fact, in New Jersey, there are more cell phones than there are people.
There are more cell phones.
Yes.
Than there are people.
Yes. Thankfully, our customers are now on their second, sometimes third device. You know, the tablets are very, very popular now. They're connected wirelessly to the network. They have cell phones. Each one of them has cell phones. They have connected cars. If you have, you know, a connected car, Pandora in your car, that's connected through our network to the internet. So people are now on their second, third devices.
But here's the thing. The other thing you said to me is that Sandy also just reminded you and your colleagues at Verizon that certain things need to be done, and that consumer patterns, if you will, behavior is something we need to keep in mind. Our home phones do not play the role they used to play in an emergency like this. Talk about that, and talk about what you brought in to help us better understand it.
Right. I mean, largely every customer in New Jersey has a cell phone in their pocket. So when an emergency hits, they just go there naturally to the cell phone. And like I said earlier, cell phones largely are unaffected by Sandy. There are small pockets. So more and more customers are relying on the wireless connectivity. The home phone now, you know, a couple things. I was with a group of people earlier this week and I asked them, you know, how many people have heard their home phone ring in the last couple of days? No hands go up. I said, well, why do you keep your home phone? And there's really two camps. One is the people who don't want to give up that phone number. It's been in the family for a long, long time. Yeah. And the other people like the idea of having a family phone. You know, the one that relatives may call if they don't want to talk to an individual member of the family, but the whole family, or to direct solicitations to, or, you know, when you fill out that credit card application, that's the phone number you give. So they keep the home phone. But even that now is becoming more wireless. One of the things that Sandy pointed out was the barrier islands, for instance. You know, we're told that those areas will forever be in harm's way, changing climate, et cetera. So it didn't make sense to us to start putting up the same poles and the same wires again if they're going to come down. So we rushed development of this device called VoiceLink.
VoiceLink.
This is essentially turning your home wired phone into a wireless connected home phone. On the side are these jacks that your home wiring plugs into. So if you have a phone still hanging in your kitchen, you would plug the wire into there, and now your home phone, all the phones in your home, are connected via this wireless link back to the network. So no wires to come down from a 100-foot oak tree, no wires to get wet, as happened in many places with Sandy. So it has battery backup, and in fact, we even developed this so it had AA battery capability. So if you have a prolonged power outage, this thing will last as long as your supply of AA batteries.
So hold on, less of a chance in a Sandy-like situation, Jim, of losing the capacity to use my home phone.
Correct. And for those people who don't want to give up that home phone number that I talked to you about, it just gets moved over to this. So if you could hold on to that.
And finally here, the conversions piece. For those who may be watching us while we're a PBS connected station, a lot of people are watching us on Fios as well. We have PBS and Fios. We're on Fios, connected to you guys. Talk about the folks who want the conversions. They want Fios, they want their phone, and they want their computer, right?
Right.
Triple?
Yeah, triple play, but more so they want their video and high-speed internet access, which is what our Fios, which is a fiber optic cable, not a copper cable,
right,
to the home can deliver. And the speeds are astronomical. I mean, they're, different tiers that you could buy, faster, and fastest tiers of service.
Is it going to get faster?
Probably. I don't know how much faster.
Yeah, I was going to ask how much faster could it? Yeah.
But that high speed capability is also what helps you deliver video, television, and then video that doesn't buffer as you're trying to watch it. Just recently, New Jersey is really about a month or so away from having its 4G network complete.
4G network.
So this is 4G,
Translation?
4G wireless, which is just a faster wireless service. And most customers who now have phones that are capable of accessing that are telling me, I noticed the improvement right away, because when I try to watch video on my cell phone, I don't see buffering anymore. And that's largely because of the speed. So now the next step there is, people are going to be watching television on their smartphones.
Consumer demand driving a lot of this.
Yes.
And Verizon trying to stay connected to it and ahead of it. Jim Gerace, Vice President, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut at Verizon. I want to thank you for joining us, and we'll keep track of this. This will not be the last time you join us on one-on-one. Hopefully that will be the last storm for a while like that, but you guys will be ready, right?
We are ready for the next one.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
Stay with us. One-on-one will continue right after this. Thank you, Jim.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Sun National Bank, Qualcare Inc., New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, PSE&G, Fedway Associates Inc., the Russell Berry Foundation, and by Cone Resnick. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.